Hello everyone, this is Eli Freestone and you're watching my Exploring Microconsoles video for PMA7 term 1409. Today I'll be talking about the game stick made by PlayJam, which runs Android 4.3, or at least a modified version of it. And it's a very modular type of setup that's actually the size of a USB stick, and it just plugs straight into the HDMI port of a TV. So let's go ahead and run over the specs here real quick. It's powered by a dual-core ARM Cortex-A9 CPU. The GPU is an ARM Mali 400. The memory is 1 gigabyte DDR3 RAM with 8 gigabytes flash, although it should be noted that only about 3 of those gigabytes are actually available for media and games. That is expandable though, up to 32 gigabytes with an SD card that's on the back of the little thumb drive. Connectivity is HDMI for video. Wi-Fi includes 802.11b, G, and N, and then up to 4 controllers can be connected to the device via Bluetooth LE 4.0. As I said, the operating system is based on Android 4.3, although it is heavily skinned as well as really tweaked to really take advantage of the limited hardware capabilities of the game stick itself. It is capable of outputting a full 1080p video. And the dimensions of the stick itself, the console, the brain of the unit, is about the size of a flash drive. It is actually pictured to the right of the screen here. And then the controller itself is a little bit bigger width-wise as an original Xbox controller. Shape-wise, it's more similar to either a Nintendo or a Super Nintendo controller, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick. Alright, and cost was originally $80 through PlayJam.com. However, it has since come down to, you can currently get the unit for $34.99 from Amazon.com. And what I would say the main selling point of the game stick is definitely its portability. As you can see, the console itself can actually be hidden inside the controller, so it makes it really easy to just slip it in your pocket, head off to your buddy's house, and then you can hook it up to his TV and play some games. It does still require obviously the TV, but then also power. If you can see the small micro SD or micro USB on the stick itself, it does require some sort of power supply that could either be from a USB port on the TV or an actual charger that it does come with. All right, and then the market is actually kind of an interesting setup. It's very much a walled garden, so to say. It's not actually, you don't have actual access to the Play Store. Instead, you have right now about 110, a little bit more than 110 games, and they are, a lot of them are just ported over, straight over from the Play Store, but several of them are also console-style games, like Shadowgun is a very, like a third-person shooter. There's several racing games like Riptide GP, but then there's also a lot of puzzles and stuff like that that came straight over from the Play Store. But PlayJam does require that you actually submit your games to their QA department before they'll even put them into the marketplace. At first, I didn't think this was a very good setup, but then after I really thought about it, it really makes sense for this context, considering that the controller itself is really the main input device. You definitely want to make sure that the games are mapped correctly, that your start button is always going to do what a start button is supposed to do. And stuff like that, that they can then make sure that all of the games port over properly, their controllers are mapped, so on and so forth. So they're not really, they're no longer based on a touchscreen device because they're no longer being used with a touchscreen device. As far as the way they set things up for developers, you are able to get a development unit directly from PlayJam. However, you can easily turn your retail unit into a developer unit simply by sending your MAC address to PlayJam, and they send you over the firmware via an update. And then after that, all of the games are, a vast majority of the games you do have to pay for. There are a couple of free ones, but they range from $1 to $5. They do allow freemium, premium, and other types of monetization strategies, and according to Gamasutra, the split for revenue shares is 70% developer, 30% game stick. So that's about it. This has been Eli Freestone, PMA7, term 1409, and this was my microconsole. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.